Hello students, welcome to Trunkie Academy, and we are again here with another new topic. Okay, we are studying about the morphology of flowering plants, and with regard to that, we studied about the morphology of roots and different modifications that we found that we can find in the roots, and the modification of roots are due to the different functions that root carry out depending on the habitat they grow and live. Okay, and then we studied about the stems, the structure of the stem, parts of the stem. Okay, and how the different in some cases in some plants the stems are modified to perform different functions. Okay, and then yesterday we studied about the leaf structure, parts of the leaf, and how in some plants leaves are modified to perform different functions, are deviating from the normal functions. Okay, and today we will study about the morphology about the structure of the flower and the parts of the flower, and then the functions of each and every part of the flower. Okay, so when we say flower, it means it is the reproductive part. Okay, it is a part of the plant body which contains reproductive organs. Okay, sexual reproduction takes place with the help of flower. Okay, so the flower is the reproductive unit in the angiospermic plant, means the flowering plant, angiosperms. Okay, and you have already studied that there are phanerogams and cryptogams. Okay, so phanerogams means the flowering plant, and angiosperm are the flowering plants and highly evolved group of plants in the plant kingdom. So when we say this angiosperm means it is a flowering plant, and the flower is a special structure and that acts as the reproductive unit in angiosperm. Okay, so it is meant for the sexual reproduction. Okay, this structured flower is actually serves the basis for sexual reproduction. The structure, the organs, the part which is there in the flower that play important role in sexual reproduction and carrying out the sexual reproduction. Okay, this structured flower is actually a modified stem or modified shoot with nodes and internodes. Okay, but it has been modified into such a structure which carry out the process of reproduction in angiospermic plant, sexual reproduction. Okay, leaves at the nodes are modified into floral leaves. Okay, so this is a modified stem. Okay, stem, you know, it is the structure which grow above the ground and that bears branches. Okay, leaves. Okay, flowers and fruits. But this flower is also a modified form of stem. Okay, and the leaves at the nodes are modified into floral leaves. Okay, floral leaves means the petal. Now, a typical flower has 4 different kinds of whorls that we have already studied in class 9. Okay, 4 whorls. Okay, or 4 components parts, that is the androecium, gynoecium, calyx, and corolla. Okay, so they are arranged successively on the swollen end of the stalk, that a part which we hold the flower with. Okay, that's called a stalk, or pedicel. Thalamus is the base, on which the different the floral parts are arranged or based on. Okay, it's also called the receptacle. The 4 whorls are calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. Out of these 4, calyx, corolla, and androecium and gynoecium, calyx, corolla are accessory, do not take part in reproduction directly, or it is not actually involved, but these are the accessory. And androecium and gynoecium are actually the male and female reproductive part of the flower. Okay, now if you observe this the part of the flower, you will find that anther, okay, is present there in the called the pollen grains. Okay, and that the just below that there is a filament, and this whole structure is called the stamen. Okay, and this is the thalamus, and the pedicel, the part or stalk which we hold the flower with. Okay, so this is the pattern, you know, this is the pattern. Okay, and this is its style. So this is a sticky part where the pollen grain comes and is stick and then forms a pollen tube and then goes into the ovarian, finds the female gamete for fertilization. Okay, so there are 4 parts, and calyx means sepals, separately we call sepals, Corolla means petals. Androecium means the female, a male reproductive part, that is the stamen, a group of stamen. Okay. So when we say stamen, means a group of stamen. Okay, stamens. So it becomes androecium. So it is the androecium. Okay. And gynoecium means the carpet. Okay, ovary, style, stigma together, carpet. Okay, and gynoecium. Okay, so this we have already studied, and now this is a kind of. Now we have some little more in detail here in class 11. Now you look at this picture and you look at this. Anther and filament together is called stamen. Okay, anther. Stigma, style, and ovary is called pistil or carpet. So this is a pistil here. Okay, stigma, the sticky part at the top, okay, terminal region, then the style, the tube-like structure, and then in the basal region, at the base, there is a swollen region that contains the ovary and ovule. Okay, so together all these, okay, ovary, style, and stigma is called pistil. Okay, so it is the androecium. In case of this anther and filament together, it's called stamen, and so many stamens together form androecium. Okay, so now pollen tube is shown when the pollen grain is attached at the stigma, sticky part, and forms a pollen tube, and then it goes into the ovary. Okay, so this is about the structure of the flower. Now you can see here, petals are there. Okay, ovary, receptacle, the stem is there, and the sepals. Sepals are green in color. Okay, it is there for protection or a protective function is there for these sepals. Okay, now. Calyx and corolla are accessory organs, non-essential. It's not essential, but play some role. Okay. So in reproduction, the main role are played by the androecium and gynoecium because they are the reproductive part, reproductive organ, and they are essential. Okay, because they form the male and female gamete and the fertilization texture. Calyx and corolla, they are accessory and non-essential. Okay, and petals or corolla, they attract the insects, flies, bees, honeybees, etc. for pollination. Okay, and gynoecium and androecium are the structure for the reproduction. Okay, so the part that take part in reproduction is the androecium and gynoecium. In some flowers like lily, okay, monocotyledons, the calyx and the corolla are not distinct and are termed as perianth. So what happens? You can see here earlier when we saw this diagram, okay, calyx is distinct. Okay, that means the sepals are distinct, not attached, not fused with the corolla or not fused with the petals. Okay, but in case of some plants like lily, here we can say the calyx or the sepals is fused. It is continuous with the petals. Okay, you cannot differentiate. It's called perianth. It's called perianth. Okay, and at the below of that it forms a tube-like structure. It is called perianth tube. So this part is important for the exam. This perianth. Okay. So in some flowers like lily, the calyx and the corolla are not distinct. Okay. The corolla or the petals are fused with the sepals, and they are called perianth. They are termed as perianth. And the tube that forms below this is called the perianth tube. Okay. So when a flower has both androecium and gynoecium, it is bisexual. Okay. So that means a flower like a China rose or Hibiscus rosa sinensis, it is a bisexual. A flower having either stamens or carpels is called unisexual. Okay, so that means in some cases, okay, in some flowers and some plants, we find that the plant is unisexual, having only androecium or gynoecium. But a plant which has both androecium and gynoecium in the same flower, then it is called bisexual flower. Okay, and in case of unisexual flower, it is only either the androecium is in another flower and gynoecium is in another flower. Okay, like it has in the diagram it has been shown. Okay, so this is the example of unisexual flower. Okay, now we'll go through some MCQs. Okay, which is the reproductive part in plant? Stem, fruit, leaf, and flower. Obviously, it is flower. It's a very simple question. Okay, now next question: which of the following is a reproductive organ? Sepal, gynoecium, stipule, and calyx. Okay, so it is the gynoecium. Androecium. So here it is gynoecium. So correct answer for this question here it will be gynoecium. Okay. Now this flower has both androecium and gynoecium. It is called. Is it the unisexual or is it the bisexual or is it the girl flower? Okay. So it is the none of this. No. It is the bisexual flower. Okay. So correct answer for this will be the bisexual flower. Okay. The flower which has either stamens or carpel is bisexual or unisexual or gallflower, or it is none of this, it is a unisexual flower. Okay, so only one part, either androecium and gynoecium is present. Okay, now the flower, the symmetry and the mericity of flower, the symmetry, okay, the arrangement, the mericity. Symmetry, in the symmetry the flower may be actinomorphic, radially symmetrical, or zygomorphic, bilaterally symmetrical, or asymmetric, irregular. Okay, cannot be divided into two identical and equal halves by cutting through the axis, cutting through one plane passing through the central axis that cannot be divided into two identical and equal halves, then it is asymmetrical. Try to understand this. When the flower cannot be divided into two identical and equal halves, cutting through the passing through one plane and passing through one plane and passing through the central axis, then it is called the asymmetric. When the flower can be divided into equal parts by cutting through any plane passing through the central axis, that is a radially symmetrical, and the specific term is given in plants, it is the actinomorphic. Okay, I mean it is bilaterally symmetrical, it can be divided into two equal halves by cutting through only one plane passing through the central axis, then it is a zygomorphic, like we can see. The flower which can be divided into two equal or radial halves in any radial plane passing through the center, then it is the actinomorphic. Okay, here in this case you can see it's actinomorphic, right? So the red dots are showing that it can be divided into two equal halves when it can, and by cutting more than two planes, more than one plane. Okay, so it is mustard. This is the flower of mustard plant. Here also you can see it is the datura. This is the flower of the datura, where also it is we find that it is also radially symmetrical, or it is called actinomorphic. Okay, right? And here also in this case, like in chili, a flower of the chili, we also see this flower is also actinomorphic. Okay, radially symmetrical. Now in case of zygomorphic, a flower can be divided into two similar halves only in one particular vertical plane, and so that it is the zygomorphic. Here you can see. And if you cut like this, it cannot be equal part. Like if you cut like this, then what will happen? See, if you cut like this, then it will not be in two equal halves. So this is a zygomorphic. Okay, divided into two equal halves by cutting through this plane only. Okay, so this is called zygomorphic or bilateral symmetry. So this is found in case of the pea plant. Okay, now here you can see the another plant. This is also is a bull moher. Okay, so in bull moher, this flower can also be divided into two halves by cutting through only one plane. This is called zygomorphic. Okay, here also you can see the bean, flower of the bean. Okay, now here also you can see the cassia. Okay, the flower of the cassia. Okay, so these are the examples of the zygomorphic flower. Now asymmetric, irregular. Okay, this is irregular. Okay, whichever plane you are cutting, passing through the center, the flower cannot be divided into two identical or equal halves. Okay, so can is the example. Okay, this is the irregular and it is asymmetrical. Okay, now we come to the mericity. Mericity is the number of components or parts in each whole of a plant structure. Okay, number of component parts. Okay, now, okay, and component parts in each whole of the plant structure. For our flower may be trimerous or tetramerous, pentamerous based on the number of floral appendages. Now we will see trimerous, tetramerous, pentamerous are the floral appendages which are in multiples of 3, 4 or 5 respectively. Okay, now we will see trimerous. You can see it's 3 in number. So floral parts, component parts are how many in number? If it is in 3, like here you can see clearly, we can see there are 3 stamens and 3 petals. 1, 2 and 3. This is the stamen, pollen grain, the yellow pollen grain you can see, and 1 petal, 2 petal and the 3 petals. So 3 in number. So stamen and the petals are 3 and number. So when it is there, it is like this. It is called trimerous flower. Then again tetramerous. When we see the petals are 4 in number, so it is tetramerous, and it is 5 in number. It is called pentamerous. Okay, so it is pentamerous. So when the petals are 5 in number, and it is arranged tetrapetally. Now flowers with bract found at the base of the pedicel are called bracteate, and those without the bracts are called ebracteate. Now try to understand this. It is small leaf-like structure present at the base of the flower. Okay, in some cases it's present. Okay, at the base of the pedicels. Okay, pedicel means at the when the stalk is finished, right there in the small. You will see in the picture also. Based on the position of calyx, corolla, and androecium and thalamus in respect of the ovary, the flowers are described as hypogynous, perigynous, and epigynous. Okay, so try to know. This is very important for the exam. Okay, important for exam. Important for exam. Hypogynous, based on the position of calyx, corolla, androecium, and another. So calyx is it present below the ovary, or in the line of the ovary, or above the ovary? Okay, based on that, the flower, flowers are described as hypogynous flower, perigynous, or epigynous. Okay, so you see, hypogynous means in the hypogynous flower, the gynoecium occupies the highest position. So okay, so gynoecium. So that means gynoecium is at the top. Okay, and the rest, the corolla, calyx, they are below the, the gynoecium. Okay, so other parts are situated below the gynoecium. Okay, like this here. So ovaries in these flowers are superior because gynoecium is at the top. So it's called, the ovary is called superior ovary. This is important for exam. Hypogynous, epigynous, and perigynous. Please remember this. Okay. So ovary is superior because ovary is the hypogynous. Okay, because there is the gynoecium is at the top and the ovary is present in the gynoecium, and below that the other floral parts are present. Like example are mustard plant, flowers are the mustard, China rose, and brinjal. Like you can see here. Okay. So hypogynous flower, you can see this ovary gynoecium is at the top. Now and stamen is also at the below. This stamen are below, and calyx and the petals are also below this, below the ovary, coming below the gynoecium, below the ovary. Okay, so this is called hypogynous flower, and the ovary is called superior ovary. Okay. Now, in case of the perigynous, gynoecium is situated in the center. Other parts of the flower are located on the rim of the thalamus, almost at the same level. So, where the ovary is there, from the same level, it's arising. Here, the ovary is half inferior and half superior. Okay, like this. So here it is arising exactly at the same level. So half of the ovary is little superior and half is inferior, because ovary is bigger, no? So it is called half superior and half inferior. Right? And the flower is called perigynous. And examples are plum, rose, peach. And in case of the hypogynous, it was the mustard, China rose, and brinjal. Okay. Now we come to the epigynous. Now in this flower, thalamus is deep cup shape. Thalamus is deep cup shape. Okay. Thalamus grows upward and closing the ovary completely and getting diffused with ovary. Now you can see. Here the ovaries are said to be inferior because the ovary is, because the thalamus is cup shaped, forming a tube-like or some depressions. Okay, and then the ovary goes below into that. Okay, and the other floral parts are above the ovary. So in this case, ovary is called inferior and flower is called epigynous. So examples are guava. Now you can see here, epigynous flower. This is the thalamus has formed. This is a tube-like structure, or you can say depression has formed, and the ovary or this gynoecium has gone deep inside this thalamus. This has formed. Thalamus is not flat; it has formed tube-like structure. Thalamus was not flat; it has become like this. Thalamus was flat in other cases; it has become deep. And in this tube-like or depression, the ovary has gone in, okay, and growing inside that. Okay, so other parts are growing above this, okay, and this is called the epigynous flower, and the ovary is called inferior ovary. These examples are guava, cucumber, ray florets of sunflower. Okay, sunflower ray florets. There are two types of florets in case of the sunflower: disc floret and ray floret. Ray florets of sunflower. Okay, sunflower, or you can say the flower or plants like sunflower, are the most advanced group of plants in plant kingdom, like human beings in mammals. Obviously, the angiosperm are most evolved group, like the mammals are most evolved in animal kingdom. And among the among these angiospermic plant, the most evolved are the dicotyledons. And again, in the dicotyledons, the most evolved are the Asteraceae, the family of the plant called Asteraceae, Compositae. Earlier, it was used to call this, and the sunflower belongs to Asteraceae. Asteraceae. Okay, since you are preparing for the NEET examination, so you should remember Asteraceae. Earlier, it was named as Compositae. Okay, Compositae. Now it is now named as the Asteraceae, and Asteraceae family is of the plant of dicotyledons. This is the highly evolved. In the mammals, the highly evolved, in the plant kingdom, it is the highly evolved of the vertebrates, and the vertebrates, mammals are the highly evolved. In the mammals, the order primates are highly evolved, and in the order of primates, these Homo sapiens are highly evolved. Human beings are similarly here also the plant kingdom, and these are the Asteraceae family is highly evolved. Now we'll come through go through some questions. Okay, when a flower can be divided into two equal halves in any radial plane, it is called the actinomorphic. Okay, so it is the actinomorphic. Right answer is the actinomorphic. And now in the next question, actinomorphic symmetry is seen in P or cassia or canna or datura. It is a datura. Okay, not P. P is zygomorphic, so it is the datura. Okay, not canna or not cassia, or it is a datura. Okay, the example of asymmetric flower is the datura or the cassia or the bin or the canna. It is the canna. Okay, asymmetry. Okay, whichever plane you are cutting, okay, the flower cannot be divided into two identical and equal halves, so it is the asymmetric. Okay, irregular shape. Based on the number of the floral leaves in each whorl, the flowers are 3 types, 5 types, 4 types, or 6 types. It is the 3 types: trimerous, tetramerous, pentamerous. Okay, if the floral leaves means the petals are 3, then we call this a trimerous. If it is 5, then pentamerous, and if it is 4, then it is the what we call that, a tetramerous. So there are 3 types. Okay, so it is the right answer is the 3 types. Now the example of hypergynous flower is the brinjal or rose or guava. It's a guava, isn't it? Sorry, it's a brinjal. Oh, for hypergynous, sorry. For hypergynous it is brinjal, and for the perigynous it is the guava. So brinjal is the hypogynous, where the ovary is superior. Okay, where the ovary is superior. Now, which type of flower shows inferior ovary? Perigynous or hypogynous? It is the epigynous. Epigynous, where in epigynous flower we find that there is the inferior ovary, and in case of the hypogynous it is the superior ovary. Okay, so this is the correct. Now the flower parts of the flower. Normally flower has the 4 floral whorls, okay, which are calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. Okay, calyx is the outermost whorl. From outside, if you see, the outermost sepals are the outermost, and a group called calyx. Okay, generally sepals are green, leaf-like, small, green in color, leaf-like. Okay, generally. Okay, but in some cases these are modified. Okay, they protect the flower in bud stage. Okay, they are protecting the flower in bud stage. Okay, so they are they are protecting the flower. Okay, now gamocephalus. Now there is another important point. Gamocephalus and gamocephalus and another term is there. I'll tell you. Okay. In this condition, the sepals are united. You can see the sepals are not free. When the sepals are joined together, okay, end to end, okay, and they're not free. In other cases, free. It is called gamocephalus. In this condition, example is the datura. Okay, united sepals. Sepals are, and polycephalus means so the sepals are free, not joined. Now here you can see the sepals are completely separate. Okay, and the petals are also separate. It is called polypetalous. Annona is the example of where the polycephalus calyx is found. Polysepalous, calyx or sepals are found is the anona. Here also you see the sepals are free, not joined. But in the previous Gemosepalus, you can see the sepals are joined here. You can see that there is no, it's not free, it's fused here. It is fused. Okay, they're fused end to end, adjacent. So this is the Gemosepalus calyx or Gemosepalus sepals. Okay. Now in case of Polysepalus, it is free. Each sepals are separate and they are not fused end to end and are called polysepalous. An example in anona, and another like in corolla also similarly, like Gemosepalus, here it will be the Gemopetalus. Okay, so petals are usually bright colored to attract insects for pollination. Like calyx, corolla are also Gemosepalous. In example Datura, or Polypetalus, example rose. You see, in the rose the leaves are separate, not okay. And in case of the Datura, the sepals are fused, okay, side by side, and they're not separate, okay, in some case forming a tube-like structure, okay. So this is the Gemosepalus, okay. In case of the these are when it's fused, it's Gemosepalus, and it is free like in these flowers, okay, polypetalous flower, polypetalous, the rose, okay, and other flowers where the petals are not fused and they're free, okay, polypetalous. The shape and the color of corolla vary greatly in plants. In some flowers, you see the yellow petals. In some plants, we find the red color. In some flowers, we find the purple color. In some plants, pink color. In some plants, white in color. Petals are white in color. In some flowers, we find the petals are also black in color also. Okay, so it's the color of the corolla or petals vary greatly in plants. Okay. The corolla may be tubular as in disc florets of Asteraceae member. I told you Asteraceae, the most advanced. Okay, so corolla may be tubular as in disc floret. So Asteraceae members have two types of flowers in the same plant. Okay, disc floret and ray florets. And you study that time the ray florets. Okay, disc floret and ray florets. In the disc florets flower of the Asteraceae family, we find that it is tubular. The corolla or the petals are forming a tubular structure. Okay, like this, it has been shown in the picture. Okay, now corolla may be funnel shaped as in Datura, or it may be bi-lipped as in Ocimum sanctum or the Tulsi. Okay, now it may be wheel shaped as in Solanum, or bell shaped, or it may be bell shaped as in Cucumber. Okay, now you can see funnel shaped. Okay, funnel shaped. Here you can see this bi-lipped. Okay, and here you can see the wheel shape. Okay, petals. Here is the bell shape. Okay, so it is there is a variation. Okay, there is a variation in the shape. Now here you can see estivation. Now what is estivation? The mode of arrangement of sepals or petals in floral bird is known as estivation. How they are arranged. Okay, in what manner? The manner, the pattern. Okay, the arrangement of sepals or petals. It's called estivation. The main type of estivation are velvet, twisted, imbricate, and then. Now this is also important for exam. This is very, very important. Okay, so important for exam. Okay. Now velvet estivation. What is velvet estivation? The arrangement of petals in how they are arranged in what pattern. Okay, so that we call the estivation. So velvet means the sepals or petals in a whole just touch one another at the margin without overlap. When they are touching only, okay, not without overlap, just touching end to end, not overlap. Okay, so example is calotropes here in this case. So this is called velvet estivation. Okay, so diagram has been shown. When we cut transverse, so how it looks. So this diagram shows how we cut a transverse. Then this will be the its structure. Okay, it looks like this. So here in this case, they are just touching the margin but not overlapping. Okay, the example is calotropes. What is estivation? I told you again that mode of arrangement of sepals or petals in a floral bird is known as estivation. Now, twisted. One margin of the appendages overlap, sepals and petals overlap that of the next one. Appendages means sepals and petals. So here, China rose, they are overlapping little bit. Okay, lady's finger. The flowers of the lady's finger. Okay, and the cotton plant. Okay, so these are see here you can see the China rose. Okay, they are overlapping little bit. Okay, overlapping little bit. Okay, bit overlapping. So this kind of arrangement of these appendages or sepals and petals called a twisted estivation. Twisted estivation. The earlier was the velvet and now is a twisted. Here in this case also you can say lady's finger, flower of the lady's finger, and here it is the cotton plant. Okay, this is called the twisted. Okay, estivation is called twisted. Estivation is called twisted. Now imbricate. The margins of the sepals or petals overlap one another, but not in any particular direction. Okay, here there was a pattern. Okay, one is overlapping, then this will overlap in a pattern. Okay, so but in case of this, not following a particular manner. Okay, like in here I can see this has been overlapped by two patterns, and this one okay, overlapped by this one and this one also. Okay, so that comes inner, and this one is also overlapping. This one is also this one. This petal is also overlapping the two other. Okay, but in case of the previous one, we see one is overlapping at one side only. Then this is overlapping the another one on the inner side. Okay, in a particular manner. They are not following any, but not in any particular direction. So this is the imbricate estivation. This is called imbricate, and this is found in Cassia and Gulmohar. Okay, so this kind of imbricate estivation is found in Cassia and Gulmohar. Okay, so this is called imbricate, not following a particular pattern of overlapping. Okay, vexillary, descendingly imbricate estivation. So there are 5 petals in the plant showing this type of estivations. Okay, if this type of vexillary estivation is found in the plants having the flowers with 5 petals. Okay, the largest petals are standard overlaps 2 other lateral petal wings, which in turn overlap the 2 smallest interior. This is a special kind. This vexillary is a special kind, a unique one. Okay, it's not found in all plants. In some plants it's found, and this is called vexillary estivations, and this found in the plants with 5 petals. There are some plants with 2 petals, or 3 petals, or 7 petals, but this is found in plants with flowers of 5 petals. Okay, example in the pea plant. Okay, estivation is vexillary, papilionaceous. What is the other name of vexillary estivation? It is the papilionaceous. Okay, it is also called papilionaceous estivation. Papilionaceous estivations. Okay, you can see here the standard gill and wings. Okay, this is found in some pea flower. This is pea flower. Okay, so one is a big standard which overlaps 2 other petals called wings, and that 2 of smallest interior petals, that is called the keel. Okay, so this is a special kind of flower that is found in the pea plant, and this is the bean flower also. Okay, so this is the kind of estivation called vexillary or papilionaceous imbricate estivation. Okay, now we'll go through some questions quickly. Which is the outermost part of the flower? This is the calyx or sepals. Okay, so this is very simple, calyx, and it protects the flower during the bud stage. Okay, now if sepals are united, the condition called gamosepalous. Yes, if not gamopetal, it's called gamosepalous. Okay, now which of the following is correct with respect to polysepalous condition? United sepals, free sepals, or free petals? I don't know. Polysepals, sepals. So poly means separate, free. So it will number 2, free sepals. Okay, so it will be the free sepals. Okay, examples of funnel-shaped corolla is very interesting. Ocimum, Datura, Euphorbia, and Hibiscus. It is a Datura. Okay, Datura has got funnel shape. You have remembered this. Some of the few examples you have to remember, as it is whichever that is given in the NCERT books. Okay, that may be important for the exams. Okay, not all the examples. One that has been mentioned in the NCERT book. Okay, so Datura has got the funnel shape. Few examples you have to remember. Okay, and at least 1 or 2 examples from each type. Okay, what is estimation? Arrangement of sepals, arrangement of petals, arrangement of both sepals and petals, arrangement of leaves. It is the both. Okay, arrangement of both sepals and petals. Okay. What is the example of twisted estivation? Cotton or cassia or bean. So it is twisted is cotton. Is it okay? Is it the cotton is a plant where we find the twisted estivation flower. Okay. So this was all about the flower, the structure of flower, and how each plant has different types. How each part of the flower has different types, and how the arrangement of different floral parts are there, and how the different terms are used for different arrangement of the floral parts. Okay, and the ovary is the arrangement of floral parts above the ovary or above the gynoecium or below the gynoecium or at the level of the ovary are okay, or these are termed, okay, and why the ovary is called superior or inferior. Okay, so we studied about that, and tomorrow again we'll study another topic. Okay, and after this class I will send you the DPP, and you have to go download by clicking on the academic. When you go to academic booster, you will find that there is the link called resources. When you log into this academic booster, okay, so then you click on the writing material, and when you click on the writing material, you find the DPP. So like I have told you, every day I am telling this. Okay, so today also I am repeating the same thing. You go to the academic booster, click in the resources, and then on the writing material, and then you find the daily practice paper based on the topic taught today, and download and go through the question and answer those questions and send back to us for evaluation. Okay, so thank you for joining and listening today. Tomorrow again we'll meet at the same time. Till then, goodbye, take care.